the way that we set up these webinars is that all the attendees are private, right? You can't see who the other attendees are. The host and the panelists can see the attendees, but you can't see each other because we want to respect your privacy. But know that the chat is open. So if you choose to send a chat message to everyone, then everyone will see your name. And that's perfectly fine if you want that, but I want you to be aware of that. But feel free to participate in the chat. Just want you to know how that works so that you're not accidentally outing yourself. If you're just here to kind of observe and play a little bit of a private role in the background, that's perfectly fine. We understand that everyone's here for different reasons, some evaluating the potential of being a customer and consumer of the products that we're bringing to market, others considering the opportunity to be a business builder here with us to carry this opportunity forward. And we're grateful, and we're here for all of it. And we're grateful that you're here for any of it. So thank you. Want to excuse Joe and Gordon. They had some other commitments they had to take care of this evening, but I mean, you've got Ashley and I, so what more do you need, really? I mean,
right. I saw someone saying they're from Mount Shasta. I grew up in Redding, right underneath it. That's so cool. I love that.
So you'll have to bear with us a little bit as we work through this. I'm kind of running tech down here on one screen and presenting up here, but it'll be smooth. It'll be great. No problem. So another couple things. So be aware. So chat is great for just interacting and communicating. Questions in chat, though, it's hard to keep track of because the chat just keeps scrolling. And if you put a question in there, bye-bye, hard to keep track of it. There's a specific Q&A section. So if you have a question that you would like to get answered, either now during the presentation or maybe that we can grab and share offline another time, please put it into the Q&A section. Okay. I think that's it. Let's get going here. So first of all, thank you all for joining us. Time is one of the most valuable things that we have, and we are grateful that you're so kind and willing to spend some of yours with us. Our foundation is people and product. Powerful products change lives. Passionate people carry forward that change, and together we can build something meaningful and lasting. We plan to spark a renaissance in the direct selling space, fueled by powerful products, a unique story, an empowered community, a proven model, a compelling compensation plan, and a team with a proven track record to bring it all together and make it happen. So lean in, because you're about to hear the story of one of nature's greatest secrets, a story that's been waiting far too long to be told. Andiamo. That means let's go. So let's get into it. I can get to the play button. There we go. Everybody see my screen okay? Is that working properly?
No. It's showing your next slide.
What's that?
It's showing both your slides, slide 1 and slide 2.
Let me switch the screen. Apologies. It's because when I do it with this setup, it's different than when we do it the other way.
Right.
Let me do this. Sorry, everyone. This is so embarrassing. What about now?
Perfect.
Excellent. Exactly what I meant to do. I need to move some of these other things out of the way so I can see what I'm presenting. Okay. Let's go. So andiamo, that means let's go in Italian, but not just let's go. It means let's go together. And that's a big part of what we're all about. It's going together, building this community and taking it forward together. So Oliabo. Oliabo is our company. It's our brand. Oliabo is a combination of two words. Olia, which is Italian for oil, and botanica, which is botanicals. Oil, botanicals. Oliabo. And we say it's where Italian purity meets American purpose. Italians are amazing in so many respects. Beautiful culture, beautiful products and fashion, incredible food, right? And then we pair that with the American purpose and business sense and driving that forward together into this incredible thing that we call Oliabo. Here's the team. So we've got an incredible team. We've got a deep bench of experience in a variety of areas that make this world possible in some incredible ways. I mentioned their names earlier, Gordon and Joe Morton. Many of you are familiar with Gordon and Joe. They've been in the direct selling space since they were kids, actually, packing up supplements and other wellness products in their basement and shipping them out for their family's business. And then they, Gordon, he's actually been on the distributor side for many years. He was years ago. And then Gordon and Joe, they started a little company called Zango several years ago that was actually not so little and was a very successful business in the direct selling space. That was a beautiful experience that many of you had, and that we are really excited that they're just such a huge and important part of this team. And an important part of the story, which you'll see and I'll get into, is a direct tie to their Italian heritage. And so we're really excited about that. Curtis Fulmer, that's me. And my background is in affiliate marketing, e-commerce, software. So in the late 90s, I got involved in building internet marketing companies, e-commerce companies, selling products, affiliate marketing, what it was back then, and then have followed that all the way through these last several decades. So that's my history. And so bringing that together, Ashley, an incredible part of this team, our vice president of skincare, VP of skincare, and so much more. I can't wait till she gets to tell you about some of the incredible products that she personally has formulated. Two of our core products that we're bringing to market, Ashley has personally formulated and created those products herself, and we're so excited to share that with you and bring those to market. Adam Blake, many of you know Adam from past lives where he worked at another company that many of you had the chance to work with. He's been in the direct selling space for many, many years, decades at this point, actually. He's incredible in so many different ways and brings a lot of talent to this team that we're grateful for. New person CFO, this slide has been blank for a few weeks now, and I'm excited to share with you that next week we'll be actually revealing that new person, and we're excited to share that with you. So that's coming next week. Brett Baum, incredible talent, background in the film industry and various other things, incredible in so many ways. He helps us with strategy and a million other things. Jeff Warwick, our general counsel, he's been in the direct selling space for many, many years, and he helps us cross our T's and dot our I's. Oliabo, this is our brand space. So, our brand space is kind of pulled from that vibrant time of the 50s and 60s where it's after World War II that was so drab and dark, a dark time in the world. And then vibrant color and a world of color and beauty sparked in the 50s and 60s that just popped in advertising and billboards and magazines. And so Gordon's done an amazing job at pulling that beautiful, beautiful imagery into our modern world with modern technology and that old, beautiful styling. And this is our brand space. These images and this imagery and everything that you see here in this presentation and everything that we do is the work product of this team, right? And so I think you'll start to see as we go, but it's a company, it's a team, it's a brand, it's unique products, right? It's this whole package that we're putting together, right? So let's get into the story a little bit. Like I said, it starts with the background of Joe and Gordon. This is actually a picture of Joe and Gordon's mom. She grew up in Italy during World War II. Crazy time to be in Italy. And she grew up there in World War II in a little town called Treviso. Treviso means three faces. She immigrated to Canada. That's where Gordon and Joe were born. And so that's where this story actually starts, is in Italy. So it's an important component of the story and of the history of Oliabo and who we are. There's a great quote. The hardest thing to see is what is in front of your eyes. It's an incredible quote. That picture there on the left, that beautiful green liquid, that is olive oil. Not just any olive oil, though, obviously. And that picture hasn't been doctored. It's just a regular picture of a beautiful, beautiful olive oil. This is what comes out of the olive oil press the very first few minutes of a high quality olive press. This is the substance that comes out. The Italians, they call it the life force of the olive tree because it's just this beautiful, compressed life force that includes obviously the olive oil. It's got all sorts of olive pulp and olive fruit that's coming out in that. And oftentimes there's olive leaf that gets accidentally into the mix as well. That's getting pushed and squeezed out. And it's all combined with this beautiful green liquid, and they call it the life force of the olive tree. Now, the challenge with that is that it's incredibly, well, the beautiful thing is that it's incredibly dense in nutrients and amazing, amazing health benefits. But the challenge is that it's not shelf stable. You can't package it and stick it on a shelf. It'll go bad. And so the reality is that it's very hard to actually get that into your lives because, one, there's not that much of it, and two, it's not shelf stable. So this was an incredible epiphany that Gordon recently had a few months ago, actually. So for years in his former business, he would spend a few months a year actually living in Europe on an olive farm that he and his family would lease out for the time that they would spend there every year. And on that olive farm, he became very familiar and got to know the people that own that olive farm and got to see this process of them, harvesting the olives and making the olive oil. And recently when he was there, he actually saw this part of the process last year. And he was shocked because obviously, like, I've never seen olive oil like this before, right? Have you? I never had until I've been exposed to this, right? And they told him how it was the life force. And he had an epiphany and he realized, wow, if we could figure out a way to get this into people's lives, it could be incredible. That was the beginning of a journey where he now understands how underrated he was in his assessment of how actually incredible the health benefits could be if we get that into people's lives, because we've learned a lot since then. So we'll get into that. Anyway, the olive, one of history's most important botanicals, symbolizing peace and prosperity. Powerful health benefits that modern science continues to affirm today. I'm excited to take you on this journey and go with this here because you're thinking, olive oils, come on, this stuff's been around forever. What's going on here? Go with me here. It's a journey. So the problem is that it's really hard to find a trustworthy source of quality extra virgin olive oil, right? Here's an example of that. So this is just a bottle of olive oil on the shelf at Trader Joe's. Nothing wrong with Trader Joe's. They get a lot of my money. But look at what we're dealing with here. So packed in Italy on the front there. And then you look at the back, the ingredients, refined olive oil. That's the first ingredient. That's what's in there the most. The second ingredient, extra virgin olive oil. How much? Who knows? Probably very little. Down at the bottom, produced in Italy and Tunisia. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with Tunisia, but it just illustrates the idea that we don't know what we're getting. And this is just an illustration of a very widespread problem. The deeper you dig into this, it's pretty wild. It's a whole racket, actually, the olive oil industry globally. So I mentioned before, why olives? Why olive oil? Well, let me help you understand. The awareness gap. The awareness gap is actually a critical component of why the Oliabo opportunity and products are so unique and the timing is so excellent. So the awareness gap, what is that? It's basically the gap between common belief or ancient wisdom and actual modern scientific empirical evidence. Olives and olive oil are a perfect example of this, right? The common belief for a long time is that olives and olive oil are a healthy part of a Mediterranean diet. And that's true, that's not wrong, but that's kind of where most of our knowledge and understanding ends. That's how it was for me until a couple of years ago. My wife and I were in Italy, and we spent a day on a olive farm and got highly educated on a whole bunch of things that we're going to actually get into tonight that helped me realize that, wow, not only are they good for you, but high quality olive tree derived products, not just olive oil and olives, but olive tree derived products, contain powerful phytonutrients that offer far superior nutritional support and health than we could have ever imagined. So the opportunity is filling that gap with an incredible story, with unique products that work, changing people's lives, and building businesses around that opportunity and filling that gap. The bigger the gap and the bigger the potential audience that can be addressed with unique products and unique story and unique opportunity, the bigger the opportunity. And if you think about the potential that this represents with both the market that's there and the awareness gap and the lack of people's knowledge and what we're about to share with you, this is one of the biggest opportunities to change lives with incredible products and to build an incredible business that we've seen in a long time. Oliabo, the olive standard of health. There's never been a standard of health with olives. We're creating it, the olive standard of health. So the Mediterranean diet, we've been hearing about it for years. And one of the critical components and secrets of the Mediterranean diet is a good quality extra virgin olive oil. Here's some stats. Italians consume 14 liters of high quality extra virgin olive oil per year. The Greeks, 20. Greeks are always one up in the Italians. It's always a game they have with each other. The average American consumes 1 liter of crappy olive oil per year. 1 liter. A big difference. Not even the same quality. Now, why does that matter in the Mediterranean diet? Why are we sharing these stats? Because we now know why in the last few years there's a bunch of studies that have kind of come out that have identified why the Mediterranean diet is so good for you and why extra virgin olive oil is such an important part of that health. So, wide-ranging health benefits of regularly consuming a high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Cardio support. These are all third-party studies. New England Journal of Medicine, the others, you can see the signs there. Cardio support. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in the world. But 50 milliliters a day of a good quality extra virgin olive oil, that's like 2 to 3 tablespoons, was shown linked to a 30% lower risk of cardiovascular events. Incredible drop. Brain health, 20 to 30 milliliters a day. That's that's about 2 tablespoons a day of good quality extra virgin olive oil. Improves cognitive function and reduces beta amyloid accumulation. Beta amyloid are those sticky proteins that get into our brains and muck everything up and are a major contributor to dementia and Alzheimer's. Longevity mortality. 1 tablespoon a day of extra virgin olive oil is associated with 8 to 9% lower all-cause mortality. Less death, 8 to 9% less death. Yes, sign me up, right? Digestive health. Supports gut health, promotes microbial balance, reduces oxidative stress, good for your intestinal lining, incredible. Inflammation, this one's huge. I mean, they're all huge, but this one's huge. Gonna introduce some new words, new terminology here. HP Evo, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. High phenolic means high in polyphenols. Polyphenols are compounds that are incredible antioxidants. High phenolic extra virgin olive oil, high in oleocanthal, a specific type of polyphenol, works through similar pathways as ibuprofen to support a healthy inflammatory response. Similar pathways as ibuprofen without the negative side effects of ibuprofen. Incredible. These are just a few of the many benefits of just an extra virgin olive oil getting it into your life, let alone the other componentry that we're going to show you and the products that we're going to show you today. So the phytonutrients we're talking about, polyphenols, incredible antioxidants recognized for a variety of health benefits. And there's a variety of polyphenols that are exclusive to olive tree-derived products. Verbascicide, one of them, oleocanthal we touched on, oleuropein, and a whole bunch of others. So olivectin, this is a made-up word we made up. So not only are we talking about extra virgin olive oil, we then mentioned high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, which is a whole different level of quality and of polyphenols in extra virgin olive oil. But now something we call olivectin, which is our proprietary blend of a proprietary olive pulp extract and a proprietary olive leaf extract that we combine into this made-up word that we call olivectin. These different extracts have incredible health benefits in their own right. So I'm going to touch back on this slide again because it's important to recognize that I understand that as much as we think that we might be able to sell some product or other things, we're not going to convince people to go from 1 liter of crappy olive oil a year to 14 liters or 20 liters, right? So how do we make this simple to get these incredible products, these compounds, and the benefits that come with them into people's daily lives? Well, introducing Prima. Prima is our first product. Prima first. Prima is the life force of the olive tree in a simple little daily supplement packet. 30-day supply of Prima, crafted to deliver the concentrated health benefits, the life force of the olive tree. What is Prima? So Prima is these components. 2 soft gel caps filled with a high quality, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil that's high in oleocanthal. Not all HP Evo is created equal, just as not all extra virgin olive oil is created equal. So this is high phenolic extra virgin olive oil that's high in oleocanthal, and it's infused with rosemary. The combination of a good quality extra virgin olive oil and rosemary are actually very synergistic in the way that they work together and in the way that they work in our bodies together. Then we've got a capsule of our olivectin, our proprietary blend of the olive leaf extract and the olive pulp extract. And then we're introducing Rosa, which is our proprietary blend of a high quality grapeseed extract and lycopene. In their own right, both with incredible health benefits. So that is going to be a really powerful way to get some incredible benefits of these incredible compounds into your daily life in a simple way. But wait, there's more. Ashley, you want to tell us about the transdermal benefits of really high quality olive tree direct products?
Of course, I would love to. So the great thing about the olive tree is it has so many amazing components. One of them being this product called squalane, which mimics your own natural oils in your skin. And we found a way to combine this with a lot of our products to give you the best quality ingredients and products that you haven't seen before. So yeah, we're really excited.
So let's talk about some of those.
Okay,
Get into
so this is Flex. This is one of our first products that was created before we started Prima and did all of that. We found out this word oleocanthal, and we're like, okay, how do we get enough to equal an ibuprofen? You know, this is kind of what we're thinking. And we found out that they're in the olive tree, there's this thing called squalane. So what it does is it mimics your own oils in your skin. And so when you put it on combined with any other ingredient, it helps absorb deeper into your skin. So this is Flex. It's high in oleocanthal. So it's a transdermal product. What you do is you put it on your skin and it helps relieve tension, muscles, aches, and pains. So this is really exciting. There's been a lot of amazing stories coming from this.
And Ashley, what other incredible compounds and some of these people are familiar with are also part of Flex?
I seriously forget this part, and I don't know how I forget this part every time.
It's so really funny because so everyone like literally Ashley has a specialized certificate in compounding. Remind me
organic skincare formulation.
Organic skincare formulation. I need to get that right. But
yeah.
Ashley, literally, she created Flex. She put all these things together, tested it, figured it out, and it's a beautiful product.
Yeah. So one of the other ingredients that's a great anti-inflammatory is this product called mangosteen pericarp oil. It is so beneficial for your skin. And in Flex, it helps alleviate a lot of that pain that you'll get. So yeah, what you do is you put a few drops on your hand, you warm it up, you rub it deep into your skin, and within, I don't know, about 10 minutes, you won't even notice because you'll be so relieved. And usually I'll put it on at night and then I'll fall asleep and won't notice because I'll wake up in the morning and think, oh, did it even work? Yes, because I finally fell asleep. So yeah, I'm so pumped for people to try this.
Yeah, and we've actually had a lot of great stories coming out of this already with the few samples we've been able to get out. We've had some incredible experiences with this already, both internally, personally here at corporate, but also with those externally, some of you out there that we've been able to share with. And I think we're going to have a couple of people share some of their experiences tonight, actually. So, but what else?
Wait, there's more. So there is, again, like I was talking about, this squalane that comes from olives. And we found a way to put it into a face wash, a face cream, and a oil that will help hydrate your face, make you look more youthful, get rid of fine line, not get rid of, sorry, minimalize fine lines and wrinkles. I forget I'm not allowed to say everything I just want to say here. But yeah, it's an anti-aging serum. So the other thing that it has, I'm going to remember this time, Curtis, is mangosteen seed oil. This gives it this beautiful sheen on your face, making you look glowy, not greasy. It helps with your smile lines, your creases right here. No crow's feet. We don't say crow's feet here because we don't need any of that negativity.
You know, it's incredible products that you've created, Ashley, and we're so
Thanks.
excited to get this out to the world. Joe and Gordon were telling us when we were first kind of working on these things earlier in the year that they always saw their mom would use a good quality extra virgin olive oil on her skin, on her face, and on her skin. And come to find out that that's a very traditional use of a good quality extra virgin olive oil for thousands of years, right? And so then Ashley takes that and amps it up with this incredible blended formulation that she's put together, which is Viso Lux. And I forgot to mention, but so Viso Lux, it's a skincare package, right? It's 3 different products, right? There's Viso Lux, which is the serum, and then there's a cleanser and a hydrator, and together that is Treviso. And if you recall from what I said at the beginning, Treviso, that's the town where Gordon and Joe's mom is from, and it means 3 faces. 3 faces, 3 products, Treviso. It's beautiful. Gordon came up with that. It's just beautiful. He's incredible with his branding. So, every Oliabo product undergoes multiple rigorous inspections before earning what we call the Minerva Seal of Authenticity. This is the seal that we've actually created that we're stamping and putting on all of our products so that you can know it has our promise of purity, quality, and trust. We know that you, like us, are very concerned about the quality of products coming into our homes, coming into our bodies, being shared with our family and friends. We have directly sourced the components and the products that we're putting together and bringing to market ourselves. We've built direct relationships with the growers, with the producers of the olives, of the olive oil, of the different compounds and components that we're putting into these things so that we can understand and know exactly where they're coming from, what their processes are, how they take care of their farms. And most of the major all of the major components actually, all of the major components come from Italy and the EU. And if you know anything about the EU, it's got much more rigorous standards of quality and processing and food and all that than the US does actually. So we're working very hard to make sure that we keep very quality product. And this is our seal of authenticity. Not only is it a beautiful piece of the products and the brand, but it's an important piece. It's our promise to you of purity, quality, and trust. So that is our brand. That is our product. And that's the story of Oliabo. I'm going to go, for those of you that stick around, I'm going to go into the comp plan as well this evening. But before I do that, I wanted to give some people a moment to be able to share a few things about their experiences with the product. So let me find those people and open it up so that they can share. Let me see here if I can find them. There's over 200 people on here, so I got to sort through the crowd. It's exciting. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
It was so great to see you all too. I'm hopping off. If you have any questions, reach out, let me know. I'd be more than happy to tell you about the products.
Well, I am looking. Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you so much for your time. So I'm looking for Mike McCarthy. I was going to let Mike on, but I'm trying to find him, and I am not finding him in here. So maybe I'm missing the name. So I'm just going to roll forward and do the intros myself. And the first introduction I'm going to make is Janice Marquez. Janice, let me get you set up so you can share it. Janice, thanks for joining us. And let me change this here. Okay. Janice, let me wait. Unmute. Yep. So Janice, go ahead and unmute, and please, Janice, share some of your experiences that you've had. We had a chance. You were in town the other day. Luckily, had a chance to swing by the office, and we had a chance to meet you and share some stories. And we were able to find some samples that we were able to send you on your way with. Would love to hear how you've been since we met.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Where do I start? I was actually told just to talk about one thing, but I actually kind of want to talk about all three because they were so fabulous.
Yeah.
I was given a little bit of the green olive oil, and it was incredible. But I drank.
Yeah, the high phenolic extra virgin olive oil.
Yes.
You get a little bit of a little taste of what's actually going to go into.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just a little bit. And so I looked at my husband and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to choke on this. This is so strong. And then I drank some water and then I didn't say anything. And I'll tell you what happened. But anyway, I'll keep going on about that. So I went to the airport, and you guys were kind enough to give me also one little Prima. And I got to the airport and I didn't have my TSA. Then I had to go downstairs. I had to come back. The Salt Lake airport is really, really long.
Lots of walking.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how I feel. And so I was going, I can actually swallow. And I have these little things called thyroid nodules. And I don't think I realize how much they like choke off my breathing and my swallowing. But anyway, it was so fantastic. It felt like I went from a little tiny hole in my throat to a fire hose. And I was on one of those escalator dills, and I was like, I think they really got something special here. I can't even believe it. Well, until 11 o'clock at night, I felt really great. It was amazing. And then I was very blessed. I have had 6 back surgeries, 2 knee replacements, and I put that darn flex on my knees. And I was like, I didn't do that till the next day. And I was like, wow, I can't even believe it. So I am really one to be able to say that. And I did put it on my back. And then the face. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I put some of this. I have just a little bit on tonight, but this stuff's incredible. Oh my gosh. I just want to yell to the rooftops. I'm so happy about these products. And honestly, I knew Joe and Gordon would bring this, but I just didn't realize it was this good. And all I can say is thank you. Thank you that I'm a part of this. I feel so blessed.
Well, thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Thanks for stopping by. It was
great. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing. Okay, I think Mike, were you raising your hand? I think I could find you because I think you're on your phone. That's okay. No worries. I'm gonna go on. John, I'm gonna unmute you here because John, you're gonna share some experiences that you've had too, right? So John.
Yes, thank you, Curtis.
John,
welcome, John Herring, Driggs, Idaho. Well, been a few weeks. My buddy Mike of 35 years called and asked if I'd take a look at something, and I looked because I love Mike, and I was more than pleasantly surprised to see that he was reintroducing me to Joe and Gordon, and all the good things you guys are doing. But I got a little package in the mail, and it had this little tiny dropper in it. It said Flex for the body, and it couldn't have been a 16th of an ounce. I mean, it was so small. I set it on my kitchen counter, and I put it where I could see it, but I didn't do anything with it. And I'd been suffering for a month with something going on in my shoulder blade, and it was severely disrupting my sleep. And where I would literally complain to myself, like, I got to do something here. I didn't make it to a chiropractor. I'm thinking all these thoughts. And one day I was asking for help in the kitchen to myself, and I looked down and I saw that little dropper. And I said, I got nothing to lose here. My boy came in. I said, rub this on my shoulder blade, would you please? And it couldn't have been 5 minutes. And whatever was wrong there has been gone ever since, Curtis.
Wow.
Just incredible. And then I did something silly. I moved something more than 3 times my body weight, helping somebody in a bad situation. And I was kind of forced to be He-Man. And I wake up the next day and I tweaked my back.
Oof.
And I'm like, I couldn't do that last stand straight up. And I thought of that little bottle, and there was still plenty in it. And I put it on my back, and I had the same exact results 2 times in a row on myself. And, people I've told the story to, they're like, well, get us some of that. We want some of that, and my friends and family. So very exciting time. And the whole package you guys have put together, anybody on the phone today, you can take whatever you're thinking and times that by 10, because this is going to deliver all of us a great future.
That's really great, John. Thanks for sharing that. It's interesting that you share about your back, because that was actually the inspiration that Ashley had for Flex. Ashley didn't share, but she had some damaged discs in her back that give her a lot of pain and problems. And so when we started getting into this at the beginning of the year and learning about oleocanthal and the anti-inflammatory, she was thinking, man, how do I get this into my body, or how do I help my back? And of course, the internals over time, it definitely will help that. But she thought, can I apply it to my skin more directly? And that's how she came up with the formulation that is Flex. And it's a very personal product that she created and brought to market, that we're bringing to market, that's definitely going to change lives. Well, thank you for sharing those stories and those experiences, Janice and John. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for your time. Again, I'm going to jump into the comp plan presentation. For those of you that are going to be a customer in the future, we're grateful and we're excited for you. For those of you that are interested in exploring this as a business opportunity, let's get into it. So, PremioPay. PremioPay is Oliabo's compensation plan. The power of simplicity. Work when you want, where you want, with who you want, and earn what you deserve. Let's talk about some principles of PremioPay. First, keep it simple. Second, no word games. In a lot of compensation plans out there in the direct selling space, we hear things like as much as, or other things like that are word games, right? Like up to, as much as. We don't play word games. What you see is what you get, and you'll see how that works. Transparency and accountability. We want you to understand how our compensation plan works, and we want to be accountable to that, because ultimately, we're all about being transparent and being aligned. We want to be aligned with you. We want you to be aligned with each other so that we can all build and grow and spread this incredible opportunity together. Don't mess with people's rice bowls, right? For those of you that choose to build a business with us, this, we understand, is going to be an important piece of what can feed you and your families. And we don't want to mess with that. So we've worked really hard to refine the compensation plan to dial it in so that it's not something that we have to change in a few months or hopefully even in a few years, right? We want to stay stable and solid so that you can build confidently knowing that we're not going to mess with your rice bowl. Because ultimately, if we aren't clear, we know that the confused won't buy and the confused don't build. Terminology, I'm not going to really get into this. You can just see it. So we're going to be sharing this presentation deck with you soon. So this is some terminology that can help those of you that are learning kind of what's going on in this space, in this world, how we're using this terminology and what it means, but I'm not going to spend time going through each of these. So what are some of the unique selling features of the Premio Paid plan? There's a weekly component, a monthly component, and a quarterly component. So you can earn money quickly, you can earn money consistently, and you can earn bigger, longer term opportunities through quarterly as well. 50% payout on every CD unit. We really want this to be a partnership between what the corporate side is doing and what you're doing in your business. We want to be a partner. So 50% payout on every CD unit. Dynamic compression. We'll talk a little bit about that in this, but I once heard it said, I think by Ray Heron, he said, dynamic compression is a lot more fun to experience than to explain. But we'll get into what that means, but it basically means it's our guarantee and how we guarantee that we pay out 50% on every CD unit. Easy price points. We want things to be clear and simple, not confusing. Minimal CD split. So I'll show you an example later on here about some of the things that some of you are experiencing out there in the world of direct selling. And the CD splits are egregious and ridiculous and crazy, and it's got to stop. Global bonus pools. So this is something that as you rank up in the compensation plan, you get to participate in some global bonus pools that allow for some really big earning opportunities, and they're very exciting. And minimal structure requirements, right? Because ultimately we want to keep things simple so that you have the potential to really grow and establish yourselves in a really successful business and opportunity in helping us grow Oliabo and spread it to the world. So Oliabo is based upon the simplicity of me plus 3. Everybody's got at least 3 people that can either be a customer or a potential business builder, and that you can kind of start establishing yourself and your business here with Oliabo. Me plus 3. So we talked about there's a weekly incentive, a weekly component that we call it sprints. Sprints are a weekly payout based upon the initial order of someone that you've personally enrolled. So all initial orders are paid weekly on what we call a sprint. There's 2 levels of the sprint. Sprint level 1, the requirement there is that you're just an active business builder. You're an active distributor with us, and there's no actual personal purchase requirement for you to be an active distributor and get 1 level. So that sprint first level, 25%. Level 2, so that does require a personal commitment, 200 qualifying volume personal commitment to get a level 2 payout on the sprint, and that's 10%. And again, we pay out 50%, right? So 25, 10, there's 15% left over, so 5% of the sprint CD goes into the global bonus pool, 5% into the elite bonus pool, and 5% into an incentive pool. The incentive pool is a lot of fun contests and other rewards that we're going to be doing and giving out. That'll be a lot of fun. So the total payout there on sprints, 50% CV. Here's an example here on this right side example. So this is an example of an initial order with 100 CV. That would be like 1 Prima essentially. So 100 CV, 50% of that CV is going to be paid out. First level, 25%, $25. Second level, 10%, $10. $5 is going to go to the global bonus pool, $5 to the elite bonus pool for higher level ranks to participate in, and $5 to the incentive pool for a $50 payout. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's some additional detail if you had a chance to peruse that on the right there of how those work. Straightforward, easy way to make quick money, sprints. Monthly earnings, we call this the baseline. It's essentially a unilevel. For those of you that are familiar with what a unilevel is, we call it baseline. This is your monthly check. So it's 8 levels, and the basic breakdown is this. So a rep, that's the first level. First rank is a rep. A rep, there's no volume, no specific personal purchase required. 0 to 99 QV, no purchase required. You get one level of commissions, 5% on those that you bring into the business. So that's a rep. A Brava rep, that's somebody that comes in with a personal monthly commitment of 100 QV. So again, that's like one premium per month. That gives you a second level. So you get 5% on your first level, 5% on your second level. Kappa, that's when you're starting to kind of actually build a bit of a team and organization. So qualifiers there, 3 personally enrolled, that's 3 people you've introduced. That could either be customers or business builders that you've introduced to Oliabo, and 3 teams or 3 branches or 3 legs, 3 teams that are directly frontline to you. Now those teams, the team leaders do not have to be your personal enrollments. Those team leaders could be somebody that was placed from your upline, but you have to have 3 teams, each of those teams, 100 QV in each of those teams, volume individually in those teams, right? That makes you a Kappa. Kappa, that just means 1,000 essentially is our Kappa. So Kappa, and then 1,000 in overall group volume, and that makes you a Kappa, right? Quinto, you're basically same 100 QV in your personal qualifying requirement. 3 personally enrolled, still maintaining those 3 personally enrolled, and 3 teams. Now each of those teams needs to have 1,000 in team volume, qualifying volume in each team. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, and overall group volume in your whole organization of 5K, 5,000 overall group volume. That gives you a quinto. I forgot to mention, sorry, at Kappa, you get another level. 3rd level, 10%. Quinto, 10% on your 3rd level, but then it opens up 2 more levels. It's important to note, why 10% on that 3rd level? I'm not going to go through Venti. You can kind of look at this. Venti, Premio. You unlock everything, all 8 levels at Premio, and you get into the global bonus pool eligibility at Premio. But why is everything else 5% except for that 3rd level? There's a good reason behind that. We've actually thought really carefully about this. We've looked at historical data from other experiences that we've had. And typically, the 3rd level is where a lot of people can build to 3 levels through their connections and then the connections that they have and the other levels. But then often at that 3rd level is where you really need to drive deeper momentum to be able to then grow and expand explosively from there. Because you can either expand explosively from the 3rd level, or the 3rd level is where you can die from. And so we want to make sure that we're driving people to that 3rd level, because that's where the power and the multiplication then happens with duplication from the 3rd level. So by putting that 10% there, it motivates people to drive to the 3rd level, and it motivates that 3rd level to then drive to their 3rd level, and it keeps expanding out. It also builds a really healthy middle class income within the overall structure of the plan. You've got a lot of compensation plans out there that, you've got a few people at the top making a lot of money, and everybody else pretty much at the bottom making little to no money. But with the way that we've structured this, especially when you look at the weekly, the monthly, and what we'll show you with the global bonus quarterly, and with that 3rd level at 10%, it creates a really healthy middle class opportunity that then drives people to the middle and allows them to continue to then grow into those upper echelons and those upper ranks and those higher value checks. So it keeps us all even and going and moving forward and driving forward together. Again, it's that alignment and putting the right mechanisms in place to drive that forward. There's really only 4 components that the rank qualifications are based on. Personal volume, depending on your rank, your personal enrollments, rank specific, your team structure, right? You've got 3 teams, each needing a certain qualifying volume, depending on the rank you're aiming for, and then your overall group qualifying volume. That's it. Those are the 4 key factors in your rank qualifications. So here's an example. There's essentially 2 different ways that you're going to bring people into the business, right? You're going to bring in business builders, but you're also going to sell to retail customers. So business builder, that's another distributor, right? That's somebody that's interested in working with Oliabo. Yes, of course, as a customer consuming product, but they want to build a business here. And so that's a business builder. And that's through the standard, this same standard baseline structure. That's a business builder, and this is how your pay works. So this is an example of that, right? So Baseline pay is all reorders, right? So any initial order comes through that weekly sprint pay. Baseline is all reorders. So this is an example of a 100 CV reorder. Again, that's like one Prima. 45% of that, or $45, is going to pay out through the unit level, through the 8 levels, broken down like this. And 5%, $5, is going to go to the global bonus. This example is assuming that everybody in the upline qualifies and no dynamic compression is needed, right? So simple breakdown. But we really want to make sure that we're focused and giving everybody incentive to drive direct customers, people that don't want to build a business, but they love the product, they want to consume the product, they want to get the benefits of the product. That's an important piece, and we want to make sure we're incentivizing that properly for you and for others that you might bring into the business. And so when you bring in and enroll a retail customer, somebody that's just interested in consuming the product, this is how those orders get paid out. So your level 1, the person that sold to that direct retail customer, they get 25% of that 50% CV, because we want to focus on driving customer reorders, because ultimately that will unlock expanded revenue streams that drive volume, QV, bonuses that benefit everyone in the plan. So your retail customer reorders, 25% to the initial rep that brought that order in and that retail customer. Second level, 2.5. Third level, 5%. Level 4, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So we're still paying out 45% in the baseline levels, but a big chunk of that is going to that level 1 to incentivize those level 1 reps to be able to really drive forward customers. Not only does that benefit you, but it also makes this plan a perfect fit for an affiliate influencer who's used to just getting paid on one level. It's a really easy way to introduce them, like, hey, come in, you get 25%, you don't have to worry about structure and network marketing and all this different terminology. It's an easy way for them to come in and be introduced to this opportunity in a simple way that they already understand, and they get paid 25% on all of their customers. And I promise you, you're going to want to find affiliate influencers to be in your organization, because imagine an affiliate influencer. I mean, this is my background, right? I know lots of influencers out there, either through an email list, through their social media channel, that can sell a product like this to hundreds or thousands of people. Imagine that. That's hundreds or thousands of people that are essentially their frontline customers. They're getting 25% on that, but all of that volume, QV, and all of that additional pay that would not have been there is now moving up through your organization and that you're benefiting on. And if you think about it, you could take those influencers and you can place them on your third level if you want to capitalize on that 5% on your third level. So a really great opportunity for everyone to benefit from that. So it's a way that we're actually fully unifying the affiliate world with the direct selling world in a way that's actually never been done before. Fully unifying compensation plans that work for both sides to the benefit of all. So I mentioned earlier about an example I would show of what's happening out there with CV splits. Here's an example. So NutriFlop, it's a made-up company. This is a competition payout comparison. So NutriFlop, made-up company, but the numbers we're using here in this example are actually not really all that made up. This is what some of you, I'm sure, are seeing out there, because we've heard from some of you that you're seeing these things out there in the actual world of direct selling today. So NutriFlop, distributor product price, let's say you either purchase or sell $220 worth of NutriFlop product. Their commission plan is only paying you out 50% CV on that dollar value that you purchased or sold, 110 CV, and then they're only paying you out 33% of that 50% CV. I mean, talk about word games and crazy games. Look at that split. So the actual payout, in this example, $220 purchase or sale, the actual dollar payout, $36.30. Crazy, but these are the kind of things we're seeing happening out there. Similar example, but with Oliabo's Premio Pay, $220 purchase, that's like 2 Primas. Commissionable volume, 200 CV, and we're going to pay out 50% of that CV, so the total payout on that, $100 in actual commissionable dollars that are paid out. So down in the bottom right corner there, if that was like a 5% level on your pay plan, NutriFlop's example, you'd make $3.63 on that 5% level. Oliabo, you'd make $10. That's almost a 3x difference in pay that you would receive from selling the same amount of product. I don't know about you, but I know where I would want to focus my energy and my effort. Global bonus. So this is the quarterly opportunity to generate some big quarterly checks. So global bonus, 5% of all CV is put into a global bonus that's paid out quarterly. And the way that that's paid out is that once you hit that premio rank, you then get to participate on a pro rata share, pro rata meaning based upon your volume, pro rata share of that global bonus of all qualified leaders. This is where some really big checks can happen. In past historical data that I've seen and looked at, there's some really big checks, some that I've seen historically in the six figures quarterly that some people made. Now, granted, that is not typical, right? But there is potential for that. And mind you, that was with a global bonus that I think was only a 3% global bonus pool. We're talking about 5%. That's 2 percentage points more than we're contributing to the global bonus pool. There's going to be some really fun checks that are going to come out of this. Reward trips. So again, we're building a community. We're not just a company. We're not just products. We're not just a comp plan. We're building a community. And an important part of that is reward trips. We want people to be able to go out there and experience life in fun ways. So that's why we're building this incentive pool, right? We're building an incentive pool so we can send you on reward trips. We can go together. We can have these incredible experiences together in Italy, in Paris, in other places of the world, so that we can experience really fun and incredible experiences together and build this incredible community together. That looks a little like Ray Heron down there, leaning against that beautiful car. So here's a quick example of dynamic compression. We won't get too deep into it, but dynamic compression, basically what it does is it makes it so that every single level gets paid out. And if it can't find, if the next rep, like for example, right, this is a 100 CV order. First level is a rep. There's no real qualifier there. It's just an active account, $5 payout. Now, let's say that their upline is a rep. A rep only qualifies for one level, so it's going to skip that rep. Now, in a comp plan that doesn't have dynamic compression, that could very well be called breakage, which goes to the company. That's a dirty little secret out there, but breakage is a way that some direct selling companies make a lot of money, because that level then scoops up to the company and is lost to the distributors. We don't do that. The system looks up line and finds, here's a Brava rep. Brava rep, they qualify for 2 levels, so I'm going to pay that second level to that Brava rep. Looks up for the third level. Okay, Brava rep is not qualified for a level 3 payout, but the next level above them, their upline, a Kappa, is qualified. So boom, the Kappa gets that third level. And on we go. So you can see in this example, there's 5 levels that get paid out of the 8 levels, but how many reps, how many uplines, how many levels did it take to get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 levels paid out to 8 people. So you can see, I hope you're starting to kind of see how dynamic compression can be very powerful. Not only could it pay up to 5 levels out up to 8 people, but you could end up potentially getting paid on people that are 25 levels down if people in between aren't qualified, or possibly even 75 levels or more. I know that some of you in past lives with this kind of a compensation plan with dynamic compression have experienced this. You know that this is real. You know that this can happen, and it's incredibly powerful. We're getting close to finishing up here, but I want to just I want to bring it all together here. I hope you're seeing this, right? The Oliabo experience. It's a powerful story. Unique products, an empowered community, proven system and model, a compelling comp plan with an experienced team to bring it all together. And the timing is incredible. Incredible timing. So who's ready for the Renaissance? Years ago, in a past life, Joe Morton, he said, it's safe to dream again. And this became kind of a rallying cry back in the day. And so we've kind of brought it back. It's safe to dream again, right? These last few years, we've heard from many of you that the state of direct selling and the world in general has just been through a lot of hard times. And there's a lot of people wandering out there looking for a home and looking for something meaningful to put their energy and their lives behind. And we're here to drive that forward. We really mean it when we say we want to create a renaissance. The Renaissance was a time coming out of the Middle Ages where there was darkness and death and destruction, and the Renaissance brought together all these incredible visions of beautiful things with food and with health and with art and so many things that came together in that. And that's what we want to drive forward, a beautiful renaissance in the direct selling space. And we hope that you will join us on that journey. So follow us on social media. A couple of slides here to close out, and then I want to definitely give Ray a minute to really take us home. Follow us on social media. Keep an eye on the website. We hope that you'll join us on this journey, and we're grateful for your time. Ray, do you want to close us out here? Take us home?
Dude, brother, can you hear me?
Can.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you and Ashley so much tonight. I mean, you guys are great standing in for the boys, you know. Good job. You know, Curtis, I want to say this publicly. I want to embarrass you. I love you guys. I mean, you're just the best, and you're so responsive, always there to help us. And folks, we probably are not going to, these guys are not going to be as accessible now, maybe later on as we really get going. But I really appreciate you guys responding back to me. It means a lot to me. You're right. Joe did say in 2002, when he started Zango, he said, you know, it's safe to dream again. And Gordon, of course, recently said it's safe to dream again. Well, I got to tell you, and I think I feel that I can speak for most people on this call, those of us that were together in the other company, we feel at home again. Folks, I got to tell you, I'm in the last chapter of my life, and this will be a bookend to my career. I've waited for this for 8 years. I've wandered around and I've been moderately successful in other companies, but I never found a company at all that I could fall in love with, a company that I could completely trust. I've never started a venture in this industry in the past 40 years where I knew the outcome before I started. I know what it's going to be here. It's going to be a fantastic ride. We're going to help people all over the world with their health. We're going to help them with their finances. And I promise you, we're going to put some fun in their life as well. This is the greatest opportunity I believe I've ever seen in network marketing. And I'm a little bit prejudiced having worked with these people before. But I mean, you know, I don't have to guess how they react. They don't have to talk about the integrity they have. They live it every day. And I couldn't be more elated than to be right here. I have the good fortune, just absolute good fortune of being the base of the tree here. We're about to grow a gigantic tree here in Oliabo. I mean, it's going to be something for the world to see, I know, because this industry is so ready for what you've offered us here tonight. This is going to be the greatest thing that you've ever got involved in. You can choose to believe that and sit back and watch. I promise you, if you lose a little momentum here, you're going to lose out. I'm going to encourage you to just give it everything that you got. Here's what's about to happen, folks. On Friday, 10:10 at 10:10 in the morning. Is that 10:10 Mountain Time, by the way, Curtis?
Yes, 10:10 Mountain Time.
Okay, coming up this Friday, 10:10, we're going to be able to get into this tree that we're about to start. I will get a link from the company, and I will pass that link to my personally enrolled, and they will do the same. And we should be able to accomplish this pretty quickly, get the base of the tree, the foundation of the tree started. I want to say this too. This won't make sense if you're brand new and you're just looking at us. There's a lot of people here that we've worked together in the past. And I'm the biggest fan in the world of unity when it makes sense. And I always encourage unity. Taking a lot of phone calls. I mean, a lot. My phone, you know, our phones tell us how much time we spend on the phones. I'm averaging 14 and a half hours of phone time per day for a long, long time now. Talking to people, and some, not many, some are a little bit conflicted as to where they ought to be in this new endeavor. I can't answer that for you. You can answer it for yourself. I can give you what I would think. You know, you follow your heart. Your heart always knows best. So that's the advice I would give you. Follow your heart. We're going to all do well, no matter where we end up in Oliabo. I promise you, we're going to teach you some concepts, some things that we've learned over the last, in my case, 40 years. We're going to teach some significant things that make the difference. Folks, many of you have developed some new relationships. I applaud you for that. And you've got old relationships. Relationships is the key. It always has been. It always will be. You want to reach out. Do it quickly if you haven't already, to the people that believe in you, the people that like you, and the people that trust you. You find 3 of those and you bring those 3 to the information, to these Zooms. I promise you, we've learned some skills over the years and we're going to help you. We're going to help you develop your 3. We're going to do that. We're all going to get involved. We're going to get us a minimum of 3 good people that we can work with. We're going to get on, I would suggest, 2 Prima 10s on a monthly subscription, and we're going to duplicate that all the way down. You're going to watch. Your future looks bright, folks. Don't miss this one. It's always about company. It's always about product. It's always about compensation plan. These 3 entities that I've just discussed in this arena, I promise you, take it from a veteran, a long-time veteran. There is no competition for this company, Oliabo. We're about to break some records, and we're going to have a lot of fun, help a lot of people, make a lot of money. And once again, Curtis and Ashley, thank you guys so much. And everybody, all my friends on this call, believe me, I want nothing but the best for you. And I'm here for all of you. For whatever time I got left, I promise you I'm here. I'm going to be doing Oliabo when Jesus takes me home. And I'll say it once again, it's the bookend to my career. And I couldn't have designed a better way to exit. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Ray. Thanks so much. You know, I hate to go after you at all, but I just realized I didn't answer some questions.
Go for it.
Ray, beautiful. Thank you. As always, love to hear you and hear your story and hear what you have to share. Thank you. So a couple things. So one, the way that we'll be rolling things out on Friday, we're gonna do it simply and carefully, right? So Friday is the chance where we start rolling things out, where you who want to build a business and be involved can start to enroll and start to share this with those who you're connected with. We'll get into actual, releasing product and pre-orders in a few weeks after that. So the way that we'll do it on Friday is, we'll give, well, let me try to do an analogy here. So there was an experience I had when I was a kid, when I was in a stadium on the 4th of July, and I don't remember how many there were. I'm sure there was a lot less than I thought, but as a kid, it seemed like there must have been thousands. But I remember we all had a sparkler, and somebody at the beginning, their sparkler was lit, and then 2 or 3 people held their sparkler to that one lit sparkler, and then those sparklers lit. And then they lit other sparklers. And within a very short time, all hundreds or thousands, or in my imagination, tens of thousands as a kid, all the sparklers were lit. And it was just this beautiful experience in this moment where we'd all connected together. So that's kind of how we're going to roll it out. So we're going to light Ray's sparkler. We're going to give Ray his position. He's going to then share his link with his people. They'll then share their link with their people, and so on. And so that's how you'll get connected in, and that's how we'll start things out. And so make sure to be connected with those that you want to be connected with. If you've got questions on that, please reach out. You can always reach out to us, support@oliabo.com. Remember, support@oliabo.com, oliabo.com, right? So we're going to roll out with US and Canada for sure, several European countries as well. We're finalizing that list, but it's not just going to be US and Canada. There's going to be several countries we'll be rolling out with, actually. So we're finalizing that list, and that is mostly based upon where we think we can ship product to from the US initially, safely and properly. And so that will be rolling out here soon. But yes, everybody can enroll and start getting positioned. So let's see here. Reading through here. Do personally enrolled customers go to awards? So personally enrolled customers, people are asking, how does that work if a personally enrolled customer decides later to be a distributor? They will just be in there. If you personally enroll a customer who then later decides to become a distributor, they would just be in that same position, frontline to you, and be a part of the structure that way. So their position is already there within the organization. Let's see. Can you go wider than 3 people? Absolutely. We're trying to keep simplicity by talking about me plus 3. But the reality is that those who have the capability to build wider, the greater the width and depth, the bigger the wins. So those who build wider and deeper, those will be the ones that will win the biggest. But we also want to keep it simple for people that want to build a good, healthy organization with just the simplicity of me plus 3 as well. Apologies that I did not catch the one person in the chat that was causing some problems. I'm trying to kind of run 2 horses here, and I apologize for that. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's see here. Holding tank. So for those of you that aren't aware, we will have something called a holding tank. Essentially, when people sign up, you will have a certain period of time, 30 to 60 days, to then choose where to place them within your organization. So that way, if you're getting tons of people enrolled, you don't have to feel like you have to place them immediately. You've got a little bit of time to think about how that's working and to manage your business and give you that flexibility to manage your business. So there will not be any enrollment fees. So again, that whole alignment, right? We want to be aligned. We want to create this nice connection and commitment on both sides. There will be no enrollment fees, and there will be, of course, there will be subscriptions, but you're not there. A subscription is not a requirement, right? There will be qualifying volume requirements, but you do not have to be on a subscription if you don't want to be. There will be incentives for being on a subscription, of course, a better price, because subscriptions allow us to better map out our supply chain, our product costs, other things like that give us a lot of benefits as far as our costs and how we manage the business. So we can then pass along those savings. And so subscriptions will be about a 10% price decrease. And that also then becomes a really easy way. If you're on a subscription, you don't ever have to worry about at the end of the month, oh wait, did I purchase my product to get my qualifying levels so that I can meet my rank requirements. Also, this is a product that we're all going to want to take. I've already been taking components of this product for 2 years since I had my trip out to Italy and realized a lot of these things myself. And these are definitely products you're going to want in your life. And by having a subscription, it's going to make it easy to do that. Replicated websites. Yes, replicated websites will be a piece of all of this. And that is how all this will work and will flow. So that will be a piece of it. There'll be a lot of the back office will not be functional as of Friday, right? Because we're not going to be selling product, not going to have any of that, but you will be able to have your link and start to then share that with people to build your organization, get that going. But as we get further down the line in the next couple of weeks, other components and parts of the back office will come available. Your replicated website will be there, and that'll all be in there as we get going. Let me give you a little bit, on the timeline. So Friday, again, is where we roll out enrollments. And then within we think 2 to 3 weeks after that, we will be able to launch a pre-order period. So towards the end of October. That's all dependent upon when we can be sure that our initial product will be in and on the shelf. And we think that we will have our initial product, which right now we're planning on launching with Prima, and then shortly thereafter Flex, and shortly thereafter Treviso. So Prima, from what we're hearing from the manufacturer right now, is on track to be middle to end of November here, ready to ship out the door. And so if we go 30 days back from that, because we want to be responsible in how we're doing a pre-order period, 30 days back from that, sometime towards the end of October is when we'll open a pre-order period. And those who obviously are in line first and make those those commitments and start building first, you'll also be the first ones notified about the pre-order period, and you'll be the first in line to pre-order, and that would then make you the first in line to get product shipped. So keep an eye on that. User ID characters, not sure. It's not going to be very long. We're going to keep it fairly simple. I think numerical values, keep it simple so that that's easy to know and to use and to stay connected with. There will be an app available, not right out of the gate, but it will basically, we will be creating an app that will give you access to your back office and other components there, but that will be sometime in the future. I'm not sure. So 2 years ago, when I went to Italy, somebody asked, what have I been taking for the last 2 years? 2 years ago, when I went to Italy and I learned about high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, then I've been sourcing my own from a very specific place that I built a relationship with, that farm that I spent time on. And I've been taking high phenolic extra virgin olive oil for 2 years. I take it every morning. And I tell you what, a really high quality, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil with a lot of oleocanthal, it's very potent. It hits you right in the back of the throat. And I can't wait to have Prima, because I tell you what, every time I take that shot in the morning, it wakes me up. But Prima will make it simple for everybody, including me, to get that into our lives. And I think that's all the time I've got right now. There's some other questions I didn't get to. Please send questions to support@oliabo.com. We will get to them. We really appreciate your time. Again, thank you so much. I mean, an hour, coming up on an hour, hour and a half, spending your time with us, your evening, your morning, middle of the night, depending on where you are. We've got people from all over the world on here. We appreciate you spending some of your precious time with us. We're excited to have you as customers, as business builders. We hope that you'll join us on this journey. It's going to be fun. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for your time, for your participation. Appreciate it. Catch you later.
Recording stop.